hate this movie so bad. Hate it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's episode of Overshot. I am your host for this mini-episode, Chris, or some of you may know me as Fenix, joined as always by Scott, or Spirit, depending on how well you know him, and today we are going to talk about the finer points on just why the fuck Alien Covenant sucks so much!
Yeah, the fact that you refused to speak to me on anything other than Twitter for a week, not to spoil this podcast.
No, I also told you not to go see it.
Yeah, I'm just saying you didn't want to speak to me either, other than on Twitter, so you don't spoil what you're going to tell me. And yeah, you wouldn't let me do any fucking research, so I don't
because
I'm winning blind.
It's partially, I don't want you to waste your time, because that's valuable. Also, yeah, just hear how bad this movie... Because you've seen the trailers, haven't you?
Yeah, the trailers look really good.
The trailers looked like it was going to be very, very close to what the original Alien was with the new crew, right?
Yeah, it kind of looked like Aliens. I'd say more like Aliens with a more action horror.
Yeah, okay, I can see that with some of them, yeah. But there was definitely like a mixture of the first two movies.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be back to how it was and not the shit that every other Alien movie has been. Right.
It was the shit that every other Alien movie has been, because instead of giving us an Alien movie, he gave us a Prometheus sequel.
That's what this was always advertised as, a Prometheus sequel.
But, well, it's Alien Covenant, so it's the Alien franchise, not this Prometheus hybrid shit. Okay,
yeah.
So the movie opens. Spoiler alert, by the way, for anybody who...
Oh yeah, this is going to be an entire spoiler podcast.
Full
so you know.
Spoiler, because I just can't hold back, because God, I wasted money and time of my life at this movie.
Before you get into the spoilers, you don't know this movie has received high praise from all critics and everything.
Yes, but any audience would tell you that it's shit.
So you're being a good friend telling me not to watch it.
How many times have good movies been received poorly by critics, and how many terrible movies have gotten good reviews from critics? Critics don't, most of the time, don't know fucking shit anyway.
Oh, I know that completely. Like, some of my favourite games are low-reviewed games. So
never trust a critic, because...
Yeah, never trust a critic.
Because that's a different rant.
Unless it's us. Unless it's us.
I'm not a critic. I am just... I hate this.
You're critiquing right now. You're a critic.
I'm ranting. There's a difference.
Yeah, the Rant of the Fenix.
The Rant of the Fenix. That's the name of this episode, by the way, guys. Holy shit.
You forgot about that.
Shit, yeah. Okay, so the movie starts, and So you remember Prometheus. You watched that, yeah?
Vaguely, I watched it once and never again. And I watched it when it first came out.
Right, me too. But you remember how Fassbender is the new model android, David. Good, you remember his name?
Yeah, I remember that.
So we are introduced to David like 20 years before the Prometheus events, because his master is young as the actor is anyway. And we see his like first activation. And he's being tested on his emotional and creative and his very humanistic programming. In a very bland, very sci-fi-esque white room with just an ancient-looking throne and a black piano.
Okay, that sounds
like
every other sci-fi movie ever.
Yeah, they have a bit of a conversation where they talk about how they're going to go to space and find the creator of humanity, and David's having some already moralistic, like, you're going to find your creator, but I'm speaking to mine, sort of thing, and it's very much the type of religious weirdness that the first Prometheus suffered from.
Yeah.
Skip directly to the new crew, the new spaceship crew.
Yeah, on the ship Covenant.
On the ship Covenant, with an American-sounding Michael Fassbender, with a newer model of... Because now it's after the events of Prometheus, and there's a newer model of David called Walter, I think it was. And so now we've got Michael Fassbender's two characters, separated from each other at the moment anyway. They go through a weird space storm, the ship gets damaged, the crew awakens. They fix the ship, and they discover the hailing frequencies of some human wreckage somewhere. Some weird technology thing. And they're suffering from grief because some crew members died, because they came out of cryosleep early and the ship blah 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 blah. They're emotional wrecks and they're human emotional shit.
Yeah, so this is sounding like the most generic, bland sci-fi thing ever right now.
Good. So the new captain, because he was the second in command and now he's the new captain, is dealing with having to captain a crew who don't truly like him for whatever reason. They don't truly trust him because he's a man of faith. And men of faith can't be trusted to make logical decisions.
Well, we just need to know Dead Space for that.
Sure. But even like the new Pope agrees with climate change. You can be a man of faith and be logical.
Space Pope.
Space Pope. We need a smart Space Pope. But no, this guy has a Christian cross necklace, and so that makes him an irrational, illogical believer in weird freaky shit, and so we can't have him captain a ship. We can't have him be a space truck driver because of that. It's like, really? You're bringing that up in this? Really? Okay. So anyway, some of the crew were like, no, our destination is our planet 40 odd years away. We just go back into cryosleep and then wake up and we're there in an hour. And he's like, well, this new planet is, from what our scans say, habitable, and it's a week away, so rather than hypersleep for years, we could just, potter about the ship for a week and then be on a planet. And that's what they do, of course. They potter about and go to a planet because weird signal from living sentient beings. Why wouldn't we go there? And then they find, they go through this like Finland-looking place with high mountains and fjords and high grass, and it's all very weird, very beautiful, but very Nordic-looking.
Well, Ridley Scott has always been good at visuals.
He has. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. But,
that doesn't redeem it one little bit.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So skip boring dialogue and boring weirdness. They, there's no, how did they first get infected? Because it wasn't facehuggers. Oh, that's right. They get to a ship, one of the engineers' space jockey ships, the weird one that's like a donut. But
space station.
And they get infected by plant spores that turn...
What?
Yeah, it's not a facehugger, it's a plant spore that turns into a smaller albino monkey alien. Because I swear to God,
That makes no fucking sense.
Wait until I get to the end of this movie. I was watching it with my friend, and I swear I turned to him and said, "Did that alien just make a monkey sound?" Because I swear it sounded like it sounded like a chimp from any documentary movie. I was like, and they get shot and killed with shotguns and whatever, but not after their ship gets exploded, like their spaceship. So their ship is in orbit, but they landed on with the shuttle, and the shuttle gets exploded. Because of course it does.
This is sounding like some weird Ben 10 fanfiction with Space Monkey.
I've never watched Ben 10, so if this sounds like fan fiction, sure.
No,
But
I know enough Ben 10. My nephew used to love that fucking show, and now it's just, there's a space monkey.
Space monkey.
And there's plants that making space monkeys.
Yes, a plant, think like cordyceps. Like it just infects you and turns into a xenomorph and a chest burster.
Space Monkey Last of Us.
That would be better than this movie. So,
is this why you sent me a tweet or that I have something to talk about and we have a platform to talk about?
I have something to talk about. So
is that why?
So the flaming wreckage of the shuttle.
Yeah.
And the death of okay. So the original captain is dead, and like the engineer or someone of the ship, those two were married. The engineer is alive, the captain's dead, and they're all being like, "Eh." She doesn't like the new captain because he's himself. And then he is married to the doctor, and now the doctor dies in the shuttle. So now we've got two formerly married, grieving, emotional weirdos on an alien planet where plants infect people and chestbursters come out. Except they're not normal chestbursters, they're albino, monkey, weird things.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this flaming wreckage of the shuttle, and he's all like, "No, my wife, no, let me grieve, no." David turns up.
Yeah. Oh,
David from Prometheus
from the
turns
first
up.
film.
But he turns up looking like a Destiny Ranger. Or is that the name of the class? The one that has Ranger. The long cloak, the hood, and he's got a big revolver, like a Hellboy big revolver pistol or a shot. And it was a grenade launcher. That's what it was.
That sounds like a cross between a warlock and a ranger. So yeah.
Yeah, he looks exactly like a character out of Destiny, and he basically says, "Hey, I'm gonna be a Terminator now. Come with me if you want to live."
So
he doesn't say that, but it's basically, "Hey."
Oh, that would have been perfect for that.
It would have been, actually, if he had have just winked at the camera and said, "Come with me if you want to live." I would have been like, I don't care. As stupid as this movie is, that now I'm having fun.
I take it you've never had fun one little bit then.
Let's wait until we get to the end, because I have things to say and it's conflicting. But they follow him to a temple, like a very large, man-made, alien-made temple.
Okay, have you seen AVP, Alien vs Predator?
Yeah.
Is it like that type of temple, that pyramid type thing?
No. It's not made by the Predators. It's made by the engineers, the space doctors.
Oh, that'd have been a really cool kind of...
It would have been, but no.
Like a reference.
We're sticking with the idea that the engineers created all life, including humans. So okay. we're on the... Because that's where they went at the end of the first Prometheus movie. David and the red-headed scientist looking for God went looking for her God in the form of the engineers' homeworld. So that's where they are now.
Are the engineers the ones that drink that blue liquid and dissolve into the water?
Yeah. The really tall, really pale, bald people.
Yeah. I forgot about it. Like I said, I haven't seen Prometheus in a long-ass time.
Yeah. Don't watch that movie either, really. But anyway. So, we're on their home planet.
Mass Effect 3 instead.
Yeah. God damn it. So,
we need the reference!
I hate you. So, we're on their home planet, and somehow, while orbiting this planet, the spaceship didn't notice, hey, there's an artificial building. There is geometric... We've missed a city with our... We could tell from light years away that this planet has a oxygen-rich, habitable planet. It's a habitable atmosphere. But when we're in orbit, we somehow missed a city. Anyway, so they're there.
Hashtag movie plot.
So David brings them into the safe place.
Yeah.
And starts talking, and then... oh god. And then what happens? I've started to black out the movie.
I feel your pain. I don't even want to hear this.
So yeah, he talks about what happened with the Prometheus crew, what happened with
Yeah.
the Doctor, and he explains, that weird stuff. And he tries to explain a version of what happened when they first landed on this planet, where accidentally the alien creating spore, like the xenomorph creating spore, got released into the atmosphere and killed all the engineers. Accidentally. Fucking, you never believe in the first place, because if I remember the movie correctly, in the sequence of the orders, we see him fucking drop the pots of this black spore over the city, and he intentionally infects everybody. So they're not even trying to, like, intrigue or whatever. There's like, no, he was an evil bastard, and he just killed all the engineers, but he's saying accidentally. And then one of the humans that I don't care about followed him. Actually, no. Yeah, one of the people goes off because they're spending the night trying to, calm themselves down. It's been a very emotional week. People have died, and I just need a bath. So one of the women, they go have a bath in this temple. It's like it's not like porcelain. It's like one of those hot springs where it's natural rock wall. She just takes a dip. It's like a temple thing. She just, nice, soothing cold. And she gets decapitated. Like, immediately, dead. By one of the larger versions of the albino monkey aliens. And then,
okay.
and then David somehow manages to not be decapitated immediately and tries to start talking with the albino xenomorph. And then the captain comes in, because, hey, that woman's been having her bath for quite some time, and David's missing so much. What's going on? So he interrupts this conversation between David and the MonkeyMorph.
Yeah, that's a new name.
And then David says to the captain, no, don't say a word, don't startle it. I'm communicating. And then the captain did an intelligent thing and shot the alien. He did an intelligent thing. Then he did a stupid thing. Because he's very suspicious of David. David just did something that would really, in anybody's mind, require being shot in the head immediately. But he's asking, what the hell's going on? What are you doing talking to that weird thing? What have you been doing on this planet for so long? And David says, follow me. I'm going to bring you downstairs into a dark, dank basement of this temple. And he does. And the captain hasn't shot him yet, because this is clearly a trap. So he's following him down into a dark basement, and he sees the normal alien eggs, the ones that we've seen in the first movie. They're in this...
the one where you get the facehuggers, where it's actually xenomorphs.
The alien facehugger eggs that we saw in the very first movie are in this basement.
Okay.
And David just walks up to one, and the captain says, "What are all these things?" He says, "Oh, take a look." As the egg opens, go on, take a look. What does he do? He's still holding his assault rifle. He's aiming it not at David. He's not aiming it at the egg. He has it like in a relaxed stance. What does he do?
He looks at the egg.
He looks at the... And then, of course, he gets a face hugger in the face. The weird vagina thingy goes down his throat, and he is impregnated. And in 5 minutes, he went from an intelligent human being to an incubator. And just so stupid. And then, other weird things happened with, the ship trying to contact the crew and trying to organize rescue and all boring human relations and because that's what I want to see. I want to... And then a few minutes, one thing that I actually enjoyed, because it was a weird character moment, was David threw rocks at the unconscious captain. I don't even remember these people's names, except for David and Walt, because they're both Michael Fassbender.
Well, everyone does say the best thing in the movie is Michael Fassbender, because he's a decent actor.
He's a brilliant actor, and he plays two characters very well. So David is... Oh, that's another thing. David is talking with Walter for a few scenes. Michael Fassbender, with long blonde hair, before he gets cuts it and makes a very clean-cut version of himself. As an emotionless version, like a more robotic robot. And David tries to teach Walter how to play the flute in one scene. It's like, okay, this is interesting because one machine programmed with creativity, clear emotions, and like trying to emulate humanity is teaching another machine who's been programmed to be more machine-like how to be creative. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of weird, but I like it. It's also very weirdly shot because he holds...
It's a neat concept.
He holds the flute to Walter's lips, and he's holding it like you would play a normal flute, and he just says, "Blow." And it's like this is conjuring very strange imagery because it's just he's telling himself to suck on and blow on something. Very, very strange. Anyway, back to the stupid captain who's about to be killed. David throws stones at his face so that the captain wakes up moments before Chestburster. And to me, that's like, okay, that's pretty cool because not only does that show David to be incredibly sadistic, but it's like he
wants the captain to feel the shit version out his chest.
David wants the captain to know this is gonna hurt. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't. I kind of like them sort of scenes where you can actually see how far a character is willing to go towards the dark side. I was just saying like that because I couldn't think of it in no other way right now. This shit's not scripted!
Was the moment after the chestburster pops out of the captain, and it's very much this is what the first alien looks like the very first alien. They're what we know to be aliens.
So he's gone back into being xenomorphs now.
From 1970, whatever. But it's a CG puppet, and I don't mean like a weird animatronic. I mean it's a very CG, very clearly CG, and also acting like a marionette.
Oh.
Like I swear, he pops out of his chest, he crawls up. He looks at David, and David does a weird pose, like he's on one leg and both of his hands are in the air. And the xenomorph, the fresh chestburster, imitates him. He parrots his movement, and on one leg and holds his hands. Have we ever, in the franchise, seen a chestburster not immediately go to some dark corner and morph into an adult-sized version of itself?
Yeah, we've never seen a chestburster
larval form go and cocoon and turn into Big Daddy. I'm about to kill 100 people. But no, this thing is like fully like it's not like the chestbursters were already like white colored and albino. This thing is already black, clear definition of its body.
Yeah, I remember chestbursters being like kind of slowly getting darker and looking more like a snake.
And then they go through a shit where, like, of course, the big ship orbiting the planet needs to get close to the planet, and there's this big storm, so they have to break the thresholds, but there's no danger. The ship's gonna be fine. It's not gonna fall out of the sky. It's all just fake, tense, whatever. But there's like 5 or 6 different people, and they all get infected by different facehuggers. And that's a pretty cool action scene because we see facehuggers like try and be tactical and hide and only jump at people when I'm about to do it, and a few face huggers and a full-size xenomorph are attacking humans in the same room, so it's like weirdly organized. It's a cool. I know we've gone from
kind of nice to hear that it's no longer the MonkeyMorphs
to what it was in the very first movie.
Okay.
And so there's, and then like the big one. So the big ship orbiting sends down one of the like loader ship thingies, picks up some of the survivors. One of the aliens. Oh, actually, during all of this fight where the facehuggers are trying to infect all the people, David fights Walter. So we have Michael Fassbender fighting Michael Fassbender. Walter, earlier on in the movie, Walter sacrifices his right hand to save one of the humans. So he's got a stump where his right hand should be throughout the entirety of the movie. And David, of course, has two hands. And so now they're fighting each other. New machine with weird technological advances, and David, who has another advantage of both fists. And then they continue their fight off-screen while the humans get on the second shuttle and they try and fight off as one of the xenomorphs that's latched itself onto the underneath. Now, either David or Walter runs out of the temple and gets on the shuttle before it actually departs. Guess which one it is? Of course. But in the scene before,
it's going to be David.
They're both wearing very different clothes. David had long hair, like shoulder-length blonde hair when we first met him. He got his scissors and cut it short, but it's still very roughly shorn. And Walter has always had like that slick, side part, military Boy Scouts haircut. And as I say, they're both wearing very different clothes, and Walter has a missing right hand. Does that matter to the movie? No, because somehow David was able to cut off his arm in a way that looked like alien acid, change into Walter's clothes, and fix his roughly shorn, mirror-cut, dull-ass scissors-cut hair. And he turned that into what Walter's pristine thing. So they were trying to escape up into their orbiting spaceship through this second shuttle that went down, but aliens are there, trying to kill them. David, in the stupid disguise of Walter, ran onto the shuttle, made it on safely. Obviously they kill this alien because, of course, the shuttle goes back to the spaceship, but somehow there's now another xenomorph. I think... one of the surviving humans, I think, got another chest burster. I can't even remember. But there's a second alien now on the spaceship where 2,000 colonists are in cryosleep. By the way, that's their cargo, is 2,000 cryo-sleeping colonists. So it's a perfect recipe for an alien army.
Yep. Is that the end of the movie?
No. The end. They managed to jettison this second alien out into space, and the crew was like, fuck this planet, we are going to where we were told to go in the first place. We are going to set up that new colony. The new captain, who was the wife of the very first captain who died in the first 10 minutes of the movie, she's all like, I'm going to find a lake in my world and build me a cabin. Because that was a thing for her. Because he promised her a wooden cabin made by real nails and sweat and blood and tears and all that nonsense. But wouldn't you know, because David was the one who put them all to cryosleep, nobody figures it out that the their machine had died on the planet. And of course, like she's in the cryosleep bed, she's locked in place, and the machine is lulling her to sleep with whatever magic science that it's using, and she's just like, and he's over her talking to her, saying whatever, and she's just like, David, and he switches accents again because Walter was there when he was American and David's British, and so he switches back to British, and she's like, no, no. Banging on the glass, and then slowly, like a chloroform victim, going, no, no. And of course, one of the things that that's in this colonist ship is 2,000 sleeping adults, but also cryostasis embryos that are going to be incubated and born on the planet. And what does David do? He regurgitates like 2 or 3 facehugger embryos, like the size of a chicken egg, and puts those next to the human embryo whatevers in cryosleep. And he tells Mother, because every ship is named either Mother or Father or whatever, he tells Mother to start playing the classical music that he had played on the piano in the very first moment of the movie, and then credits. And then credits.
And
I just told you the movie. Oh, also, actually, no. There's an important moment that the audience knows, okay, well, that's clearly David. Anyone who knows Walter should know this. In the fist fight between David and Walter, David stabs Walter in the neck, and then he pulls out his knife or whatever it was, and we get a close-up of Walter's neck, and his fake skin heals itself. Like, it just seals up immediately, and he heals himself internally and gets back into a fighting form. And then David, trying to pretend to be Walter, back up on the ship, face staples his skin because he got a claw mark to the face. And I'm like, okay, so Walter has this skin repair technology that David didn't have, and anyone on the crew who knows Walter should know this, shouldn't they? Because why wouldn't they know that their robot heals? Why wouldn't their robot stapling his face as a stitch not scream alarm bells? So everyone is stupid in this movie. Everyone!
I'm glad I didn't watch
it. I just told you the movie. That is what happens. And it's
that's all I need to know. Thank you.
It's terrible. It was written. The story was developed by 2 people. The screenplay was written by 2 different people, and then it was handed off to Scott Ridley to direct.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah, Ridley Scott. Sorry, Scott Ridley. 5 people were involved in the story of this movie, and none of them, by the looks of it, talked to each other about how it was meant to be done.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, if the movie was good, I would respect the ending so much more, because how often does the villain win?
Hardly ever.
And I was actually like, okay, you know what? David winning in the end and having these embryos exist, that's interesting. I quite like it. If the movie was better. Because now it also...
Yeah, it seems...
No, go ahead, yeah.
I want to say, it seems like you'll have a lot of movies where it's a really good movie but a shit ending. This seems to be a shit movie with a decent ending.
It was so weird, because it was like, how could they have those moments where it's like, that's actually really interesting and really good? One of those being the ending where it's like, the villain wins, and yet the entire movie ruins it.
Yeah, the movie ruins the ending.
The movie ruined the ending.
It's Mass Effect.
No, it's not. It's a reverse Mass Effect, because the ending of that game ruined the game. This time, the movie ruined the ending. But also, like, it's so silly because it's like, it now changes everything you're meant to take from what the xenomorphs were. Because in the first Prometheus, they were some weird plant goo parasite that turned into not quite alien. And then David refined them and used them on the engineers to make them not quite xenomorphs, but facehuggers. And then once they were on facehugger level, then they got developed into the aliens that we've always known. So that it was actually humanity that first created the xenomorphs? Not even humanity, a robot made xenomorphs?
Yeah. I do not like that. Because no, that can't be true, because if you're going to keep AVP into the canon, which a lot of people try and do, but yeah. Predators have been using aliens for millennia.
What, like 2,000 or 3,000 years?
No, longer than that, because they used to do it on other worlds as well.
Okay, so it's like 2,000 or 3,000 years on Earth.
Yeah, well, since Egyptian time on Earth, so yeah, ancient Egyptian. So maybe a bit longer.
Even longer, yeah.
Yeah, that would make everything that they have done, if they do try and make Alien vs. Predator canon and all that, everything they have done, this movie has wiped the entire canon of Alien. Everything. Because of a synth made the aliens, which started off as MonkeyMorphs.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens, I just want this episode to be called Rant and the Fenix, Rise of the MonkeyMorph.
Okay. That is now the name of this movie. So, clearly you guys listening, you know this, but we've just discovered the name of this episode.
Well, you never do name the episode. This is what I ask you to.
Yeah.
Well, this is your episode.
Listen,
you're the host of Undershot, or whatever it's called.
I get to title this.
Yeah, you title this whatever you want. Since, like, Overshot's mine, Undershot can be yours.
Fair enough.
But this movie, I never want to watch it.
I just told you it.
I hated Prometheus.
I just told you it.
I'm glad you've told me the entire movie.
I've told you everything that's memorable, at the very least.
My laptop hated this so much it crashed.
Yeah, in the middle of this, we've had to... This is 2 recordings because his laptop... Because every episode has technical failures. This episode...
It's the Overshot curse.
Yeah, this podcast has never gone an episode without some form of technical problem.
Well, no, the first one went... Well, the test episode went really well, but the audio came out really shit.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, this podcast is cursed, and it's worse now because I know about Alien. Well, this...
No, you've been told about Prometheus 2, because that's what that movie is. If they had advertised it as Prometheus 2, nobody would have seen it, but at least everyone who went to it would have known exactly what they paid for. If everyone went in paying for an Alien movie and got Prometheus 2.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Prometheus 2, it's Prometheus that rewrites the entire Alien canon.
Yep. Because, also, Predators are... Like, it shows in Predator 2 that they have an alien skull.
Yeah.
And that was back in 19 whatever.
Yeah.
So...
Late 80s?
Yeah, it would have been, like, late 80s.
Yeah. Alien Predator have always seemed to have shared a similar universe.
Yeah, Alien, Predator, and Blade Runner all exist in the same movie. Same universe.
I did not know that.
Well, the synths in Blade Runner and the synths in Alien.
Yeah, but are they still... Is Weyland-Yutani a company in Blade Runner?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen it. But
okay, if it's...
Well, we could have seen like in like those side advertisements that blink and you miss.
Okay, I'm just going to stick with Alien Predator, but they've always been connected somehow.
Yeah.
But this movie is kind of making Alien its own individual thing.
Trying to.
Because if you have seen AVP, you know that the Predators have been hunting aliens as sport for... Seems like millennia. Because if they lose, they'll destroy the planet.
Basically.
But,
at least nuke a small part of it anyway. Like nuke a 3-mile area.
Yeah, well, yeah. But You know what I mean? The fact that they've always destroyed what they've done.
Oh, yeah.
If the aliens are going to win,
If it looks like they
so
were...
they've wiped them off.
Yeah, that's always weird about the Predator thing, is we hunt with honor and pride, but if it looks like we're about to survive...
Die with cowardice.
Yeah, we suicide bomb it. It's always weird.
But, yeah, this movie has kind of said fuck you to the entire Alien v Predator fanbase.
Yeah, and also the Alien fanbase.
Well, I've got a friend who's really into aliens and who said Prometheus were a better movie.
Well, he's wrong, so...
No, Prometheus were a better movie than this one.
Oh.
That's come out.
I mean, it produced a less angry response, I'll say that.
It seems especially from you.
Yeah, I mean, Prometheus was I guess it's a weird direction but sure movie, because it tried to involve God and creation and whatever. I was like, yeah, it's a weird take on it, but sure. Not a great movie, but, not terrible. The concept of this movie alone is worthy of, it's worse than Prometheus. Because...
Why can't we have any good films coming out?
Guardians 2 came out recently. That was the last good one I saw.
Yeah, and we talked about that on the deleted podcast.
We did.
Well,
the lost episode.
Well, yeah, the lost episode. The episode where all the technical difficulties happened in one day.
Yeah, that was like 3 parts.
My laptop crashed. You had to go away twice.
Yeah.
My internet cut out.
Yeah.
Your headset started playing up.
Yeah.
That episode was just never meant to exist.
Yeah, so it's buried in the archives.
Yeah, Undershot episode 2 is going to be called the Untitled episode.
It's going to be the resurrection of episode 2.
No, we're not even going to put the number 2 in any of these podcasts, because that seems to be our unlucky number.
Just a number is unlucky.
Well, we best end it here before it becomes a full-on podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we're already pushing like 40-something minutes, so... This was sort of planned as a mini-episode, but I told everybody the entire plot of Alien Covenant Prometheus 2.
Yeah, I almost did it in this runtime.
Yeah, I did it in half the movie's length. I talked... Oh, God, this movie. So...
Is this why you didn't want to speak to me until we did this podcast?
Hey, remember what happened when we talked about Mass Effect 3's ending, and then we talked about it in the episode, and we couldn't get as angry again?
Yeah, so...
So if you want to rant, don't talk to me, and then rant on the episode. Hate this movie. It's so bad. Hate it.
Well... And I'm also going to announce here, if people are actually watching, now the fact that I've got no internet, there may be some live streams coming on the Overshot channel. Maybe Rocket League.
I just realised, I'm getting fibre sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, you get fibre in sometime?
Yeah, like the fibre lines are now installed in my area. It's just we're waiting for our fibre router.
Well, right now, my new internet, which isn't much better than my old one, but I've got a better upload. I've got 40 down, 10 up, so I can start streaming again. So, streams may be coming soon.
Yeah, like maybe some co-op streams if we can get some games together.
Yeah, well, get some Rocket League going.
Yeah.
And you did the intro.
Yeah, you get to do the outro.
I get to do the outro. Well, welcome to the first Rant to the Fenix, episode 1, Rise of the MonkeyMorph.
No episode numbers. Remember, no episode numbers.
Yeah, no numbers.
Yeah, you said episode 1, Rise of the MonkeyMorph.
Yeah, I said episode 1, we're not naming the next episode because that's the unlucky number. Episode after number 1.
Okay.
So yeah, that was Rant to the Fenix, Rise of the MonkeyMorph. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for live streams coming soon on the Overshot YouTube channel and maybe a Overshot Twitch channel, and we'll all get to you next time. And Fenix is a beautiful monkey morph.
Oh, fuck off.